Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. So let's review what we have learned in last lecture of PDCCH. So we have learned about channel mappings, okay, and we have seen that first UE has to decode the PDCCH channel, okay. After decoding PDCCH channel, UE will find out the DCI, okay, and DCI will provide information that to UE that you have to go on a particular PRB and read your PDSCH. Okay, so you will finally read the PDSCH and check what kind of information is there present in PDSCH. Okay, so let's start with DCI. So DCI definition says, means DCI tells UE which resource block carries UE data. Okay, so UE data we know it is carried by PDSCH. Okay, so DCI provide this information at which PRB you have to go and read your PDSCH. Okay, and the demodulation scheme UE has to use to decode the data. So there is a demodulation scheme, it is also provided by DCI to UE that UE will use to decode the data present in PDSCH. Okay, so to understand this in better way, let's come to this time frequency grid, resource grid we call it. Okay, so let's say this is our E node B, okay, and the bandwidth we are using in our network is 20 megahertz. Okay, so 20 megahertz means there will be 100 PRBs, right? Like 0, 1, 2, dot till 99. So these are the 100 resource blocks, okay, in our network. So what E node B has to do, E node B has to allocate or assign these 100 resource blocks in every 1 millisecond. Okay, so let's say in this first millisecond this resource block is allocated to UE1, this is also allocated to UE1, okay, and the other this resource block is allocated to UE2. Okay, so scheduling, you can say scheduling is in LTE is performed in every 1 millisecond on the basis of radio condition and other things. Okay, so in next 1 millisecond, that is this, we call this 1 millisecond as CTI also. Okay, so it's possible that this time this PRB is allocated to UE2. Okay, this is allocated to UE, just a second, this is allocated to UE1, this is allocated to UE1, and this is allocated to some other UE3. Okay, again after 1 millisecond again this scheduling procedure will takes place. Okay, and these PRBs are going to be allocated to UE1. But how, means let's say in this first CTI these PRBs, PRB number 0 and 1 are allocated to UE1. Okay, but how UE will come to know that these PRBs are allocated to me and I have to go at these PRBs and I have to use the particular demodulation scheme to read the PDSCH data. So here the function of PDCCH or DCI, you can say, is used, you can say. Okay, so let's say we have, let's say this is our UE1. Just can let me, okay, fine. I'm removing these allocated PRBs because I have to draw FDM symbols. Okay, so you got the concept of scheduling, right, in 1 millisecond. So let's talk about this first TDI in first millisecond. Okay, so this is our UE, let's say it's UE1. Okay, so in first TTI, one more thing you should keep in mind that PDCCH is present in each and every subframe, because without decoding PDCCH you can't do anything. Okay, So this is our OFDM symbol 1 2 3. Okay, so this will vary, means we know that in one subframe there are 14 OFDM symbol. Okay, so first 3 could be used for PDCCH. Okay, and just for your information, in first OFDM symbol there is a channel known as PC fetch. Okay, it's physical control format indicator channel. It's also a standalone physical channel. It carries a important parameter known as CFI. So let's say in our case its value is set to 3. So 3 means the first 3 OFDM symbol are going to be occupied by PDCCH. Okay, so you will decode the PC fetch and find out that first 3 OFDM symbols are occupied by PDCCH. So I have to look for PDCCH in these 3 OFDM symbols. Okay, and before that, during initial attach procedure, UE has already decoded the MIB and find out that bandwidth used is 20 megahertz. Okay, and PRBs, we know that 100 PRBs are there, so I have to look in 100 PRBs. Okay, and in those 100 PRBs it has find out the PC fetch and the location of PDCCH. Okay, now UE decoded the PDCCH. Okay, and as you know, after decoding it will find out the DCI. Fine. Now DCI stands for downlink control information. Okay, so we have already seen that yeah, let's see this DCI. What DCI contain is, DCI contain DL and UL resource block assignment. Okay, so let me write it this thing. DCI contains DL and UL resource block assignment. Okay, so UE decoded the DCI here. Okay, and suppose after decoding DCI, this UE1 come to know that resource block 1, that is this, and resource block 0 or PRB 0 are assigned for this UE1. Okay, so that is why we are calling DCI carries DL resource block assignment. DL resource block assignment, or in another words you can say PDSCH assignment. Okay, so we know that this part of a PRB, it's occupied by PDSCH. Okay, this green part, let me write it here, PDSCH. Okay, so you come to know that PDSCH of PRB 0 and PRB 1 are allocated to me. Okay, and DCI also provides the demodulation scheme that UE has to use to decode this PDSCH. Now you will come to know whether it is let's say it's downlink scheduled data for it. Okay, that is real data, downlink scheduled data. Okay, so you will read this data. Fine. Downlink scheduled data, I hope you remember that I have drawn this mapping: DTCH, DLSCH and PDSCH, because PDSCH can carry multiple kind of traffic like real data or control data. It could be paging. Okay, and it could be your system information. Okay, so when we are using PDSCH for downlink traffic, so in that case it will be a dedicated for a particular UE, not for a group of UE. For group of UE, the system information and paging, these kind of traffic will be carried by PDSCH. Okay, fine. So I hope you got this concept of downlink resource block assignment. Now let's come to this uplink resource block assignment. Okay, it means assignment of PUSCH or PUCCH. If UE wants to send some message or some information to eNode B or network, then network will assign uplink resource block. Okay, so that you can use that resource block to send a message in uplink direction. Okay, I hope you remember during these, I'm giving you just example that in RFC connection request, right? UE send RFC connection request, then it receives RFC connection setup, then it sends RFC connection setup complete message. Okay, so this complete message it use PUSCH. Okay, also in RFC connection setup message, RFC connection request message, it also use PUSCH. Okay, so this assignment of PUSCH is also provided by DCI. How it will provide this resource block assignment? For that we have to check the DCI formats. Okay, I hope you get this concept. PDSCH assignment, it's your downlink resource block assignment. PUSCH or PUCCH assignment is your uplink resource block assignment. Okay, so now come to DCI formats. So there are multiple DCI formats are defined by 3GPP. So I'm just giving you overview that like just keep this thing in mind, that format 0 and your format 3. Just let me cross check this thing. Yeah, 0 and 3. 0 and 3 are for uplink resource block assignment. That is for assignment of PUSCH, PUCCH, and format 1 and 2, DCI format 1 and 2 are for downlink resource block assignment. Downlink means assignment of PDSCH, means at which PDSCH information like paging, system information, real traffic is present for that particular UE. Okay, so let's see the table of DCI formats. You can see this is format 0 is used for UL grant, that is PUSCH means PUSCH is allocated here, you can say, to a UE, and format 3 again it's for PUCCH and PUSCH assignment. Okay, and rest of the formats you can see 1, 1A, 1C, 1D, these all are for DL assignment, that is assignment of PDSCH for different kinds of transmission schemes like CISO, means if my eNode B supports CISO, then it will use this format. Okay, means in CISO, if eNode B wants to assign some PDSCH, then it will use format 1. If it is MIMO with rank 1, then it will use format 1B. If it's multi-user MIMO, it will use 1D. If it's closed loop, open loop. So depending on all these MIMO techniques, these DCI formats are defined in LTE, but the main information that DCI carries is the this downlink assignment, that is PDSCH assignment. Okay, and apart from this downlink and uplink resource block assignment, DCI also provides information related to TPC, that is transmission power control. Means network wants to change the UE power to send the uplink message, then it will use TPC, okay, and also it provides some information related to HARC, okay, fine. Okay, so this is the story of one TTI, right? We have seen that in this TTI these PRBs are allocated to UE1. Okay, if some other UE is there, UE2 might be, this UE2 will decode the PDCCH from these, means after reading these three OVDM symbols. It might be possible that PRB 99 is allocated to this UE2, okay, and the data, it will use the demodulation scheme UE2, okay, and it will read its PDSCH. So this is a story of one TTI. In next TTI again these two UE will because actually what, as I told you, in each and every subframe your PDCCH will be present, okay. So again UE will read the PDCCH and eNodeB will assign. This time it might be possible that this resource block is allocated to UE1, this is allocated to UE1, and this resource block is allocated to UE2. And how you will come to know that this resource block is this time now allocated to me? It's all depends on PDCCH, okay. So after means it's important to decode PDCCH. Without decoding PDCCH you won't come to know that this PDSCH, whether this PDSCH or which PDSCH means I have to read, okay. So again in next TTI again same things will repeat, okay. We are left with concept of RNTI, okay. So this RNTI we will cover in next lecture, okay. Thanks for watching.